Hey everyone and welcome. Today we're diving into this absolutely incredible story of ecological balance. It's a narrative that perfectly distills these massive global concepts into a story literally anyone can understand. So, whether you're a seasoned environmentalist or, just looking for a really clear visual way to grasp how our ecosystem actually works, you are definitely in the right place. Let's just jump right into this explainer. So our source material today is actually this beautiful visual narrative designed by the brilliant young minds of Class 2A. They're second graders at Anka College over in Ankara, Turkey. And they crafted this story, it's called The Home of the Love Flower, specifically to help us wrap our heads around some of the most complex environmental challenges of our time. Honestly, it just goes to show that sometimes the absolute clearest explanations come from the freshest perspectives. I want you to think about this for a second. What actually happens when a single flower, a tiny little bee, and a floating rain cloud all work together? I mean, it sounds like the setup to a simple fable, right? But it's actually the literal foundation of life on Earth. Every single piece of nature heavily relies on all the others in this delicate, invisible web. Section 1. Meet the love flower. All right, so meet the love flower. Look at it, smiling brightly on its green hill. It looks incredibly happy, doesn't it? But what makes this little guy so special is its location. It announces, I am a very special flower because I only live in Ankara in the whole world. This is my only home. Now, in science, this perfectly illustrates the concept of an endemic species. That's a plant or animal that exists in only one specific geographic region. So the stakes are incredibly high here. If its home in Ankara is threatened, well, it has nowhere else to go. Section 2. The Circle of Life.
So, the love flower might be rare, but it definitely isn't alone. It has a best friend named Busy Bee, who actually comes to visit every single day. The flower tells us we love each other very much. And, this isn't just a friendly neighborhood visit. It's a vital, life-or-death biological partnership. The flower provides nectar for the bee, and the bee, in turn, pollinates the flower. They literally need each other to survive.
And that beautiful friendship between the flower and the bee, it is the absolute perfect, simple example of biodiversity. That's the reality that every single living thing is connected and relies on each other to survive. Think about it. If you remove the bee, the flower can't reproduce. If you remove the flower, the bee goes hungry. This interconnected web of life is literally the engine running our entire planet.
And this builds into a much larger system, the complete circle of life. The ecosystem expands way beyond just the plant and the insect. We've got the early rising sun providing the energy and light to wake the flower up, while a cheerful rain cloud brings the fresh water it needs to grow. Sun, water, flora, and fauna, all working together in this happy, harmonious loop.
Section 3. The Climate Monster Strikes. But then, suddenly, the climate monster arrives. And wow, it's a striking representation. It's a monster made of earth and smog, carrying this huge smokestack, and it's bringing dark clouds and intense heat with it. It arrogantly declares, everywhere will be very hot now, and it actively blocks the precious rain. This represents a sudden, aggressive change to the environment that the native plants and animals just simply aren't prepared for.
This climate monster is, of course, the real-world equivalent of climate change. That's the phenomenon where our world is warming up and that delicate natural balance we just talked about is completely broken. It's not just about things getting a little warmer. It's about the total disruption of this incredibly interconnected system of rain, sun, and life.
And the devastating stakes of that disruption, they become clear almost immediately. Look at the cracked, dry earth. The sun is now angry and oppressive. Our beautiful love flower is incredibly thirsty, tired, and visibly wilting. The rain cloud is just nowhere to be found. And down at the bottom, we see a really sad, crying busy bee. Why? Because as the source material points out, if its flower fades, the bee is going to go hungry too. The breakdown of just one element breaks the entire chain. So we've reached the dramatic climax of our ecological tale. The earth is cracking, the rain is blocked. The big question for us right now is, who is going to step up and save the love flower before it's too late?
Section 4.
Children save the day. The children have arrived. They step right into the frame and shout "Stop" to the climate monster. They boldly declare that they're going to protect their world. And what's really inspiring here is that they aren't using, magic wands or anything. They are confronting this massive, terrifying monster armed entirely with practical knowledge and a commitment to action. Okay, so how exactly do they fight back? Let's break down the children's superpowers, which are actually written right there on their signs. They defeat the climate monster by committing to 3 very specific actionable steps: save water, turn off lights, and plant trees. By not wasting water, they're helping restore the balance. By turning off lights, they save energy and actually reduce the heat and smog of the monster. And by planting trees, they literally breathe life back into their environment.
Once again, we can totally ground this part of the story in actual environmental science. These heroic actions are formally known as nature conservation. As defined here, that's the deliberate act of saving energy, planting trees, and actively protecting the earth. So the children's victory isn't some fairy tale. It is a direct result of applied conservation habits.
And because the children kept their promise, the world actually cooled down. The monster lost its power and ran away, the rain finally returned, the ecosystem is fully restored, and the love flower is blooming strongly once again, telling the children, if you protect the world, I can continue to live here. It's just a stunning visual of cause and effect. Section 5. Become a nature protector. So, everyone watching this explainer right now actually has a decision to make. On the left, you can choose to be aligned with the friends of nature. You know, supporting the flowers, the bees, the sun, the rain, and the children all working together. Or on the right, through inaction or just carelessness, you can allow the enemy of nature, that smoggy, destructive climate monster, to thrive. The lines are drawn pretty clearly here.
To help you make that choice, the love flower actually has one final message for us. Proudly wearing the shiny golden Nature Protector Star Badge, the flower is extending an invitation to every single viewer to step up, take responsibility, and earn your very own badge.
So, the absolutely crucial point to take away from this entire explainer is captured perfectly in this overarching quote from our source material. Remember, small steps make big differences. You too, be a nature protector. Honestly, you don't have to solve global warming single-handedly today. It's really about those small steps. Flipping a light switch, turning off a dripping tap, planting a single seed. Those simple, everyday conservation actions, they compound to create massive, global impacts.
So, how will you take your first small step to protect our world today? Will you be the one to save a drop of water? Or maybe turn off an unnecessary light? The balance of our real-world ecosystem absolutely depends on it. Be the hero in your own story. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today, and I will see you next time.